What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Here we are at game number 4 between Hasu and DIMAGA. It has been a fantastic series. I've had a great time commentating it so far. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Just been very, very interesting. DIMAGA is now up 2-1, winning the first game, losing the second, but also winning game number 3 that we did just watch. So again, here we are at game number 4. This time we are here on Metalopolis. We do have Hasu spawning here in the 9 o'clock position as our red Protoss player, and then right over here in the 3 o'clock is DIMAGA as the blue Zerg player. So yes, very interesting series. Last game, DIMAGA very wisely going into a quick third expansion after spotting the Forge Fast expand from Hasu. And then the great thing that DIMAGA was able to do is he pushed out with a Speedling Roach build, getting some Infestors in the mix as well, just before there were too many Colossus on the board. Pushing out at around, I believe, 13 to 14 minutes was when DIMAGA pushed out against Hasu, and that was just before Hasu started to work up his Colossus numbers, and that was perfect timing for DIMAGA, also making sure that he tried to avoid as much damage as possible from those force field walls that Hasu was laying down, just pulling back whenever the force fields went down, letting those sentries eventually run out of energy, and then finally forcing that engagement at the natural expansion. So great game so far between these two, and again, here we are at game number 4, this time on Metalopolis. DIMAGA, realizing that he will likely be scouted out early, decided to just go with Pool first, starting off on one base. And again, as we can see, Hasu has, in fact, scouted it out, moving straight on in. He knows precisely what's going on. Now, did he actually scout the extractor? That's what, yeah, okay, there we go. So he did spot the extractor. That is certainly very important intel for him. Now he knows that DIMAGA will be coming out with those Speedlings a little bit earlier than he kind of would otherwise. We can see right now the Overlord's pushing out across the map here for DIMAGA. Will be moving straight outside of Hasu's base, and this will allow them to eventually move out with some secondary scouting, pushing on in to scout whatever Hasu has for the tech as well as production buildings as we move into the middle stages of the game. Now, I would not be too surprised if we saw a 1-gate expand from Hasu, either that or a 3-gate expand. Both those things very probable, very likely, unless he decides to kind of go one base all in. But given the nature of the first 2 games being so macro focused, I would be very, very surprised if that happened. Both these players just seem to be comfortable with going mid to late game play, not really trying to go for any kind of cheesy one-base all-ins or anything like that. And that's nice to watch. I like aggression sprinkled in there as well, and I would have to say, so far in all of these games, there's been very little early game aggression, and I'm not talking about the all-ins, but just even pushing out with a couple of units and trying to do a little bit of damage. That's something that I would like to see more of, but still, really can't complain about the macro games. They really make for great large engagements in the middle and later stages of the game, and that's certainly wonderful to watch and commentate as well. Can see right now the one Zealot is up, coming out with the Stalker. As mentioned in the map on the game on dual sites, that Stalker early game can get a little bit of map control, and we're really gonna have to keep an eye as to what Hasu is doing. But again, I would not be surprised if he's just gonna end up going 1-gate expand, and it looks like that may very well be the case, because here comes a probe right now, moving on down. We'll be dropping down a pylon on the corner here, and then should be moving to drop the Nexus right over here. We can see right now Stalker moving out to try to get a little bit of scouting done and see if he can spot the Zergling, and here comes DIMAGA's Overlords. This one will actually be moving right on into this position, and again, this will be used for secondary sacrificial scouting. Also, trying to spot if we do see any Phoenixes or anything like that. This will give DIMAGA an advanced warning that something like that is coming. DIMAGA's expansion is just about to pop right now, moving down with his queen. Also has dropped a creep tumor to try to connect those 2 bases. We will be seeing him pull down with some of these workers to try to saturate that natural expansion. Also, that metabolic boost will be finishing in just one moment. Now, will DIMAGA, after scouting this, and here comes a scout right now with that Speedling, after scouting that, will we see him move into his third? That's the big question. We will be seeing another gateway, probably formulating a gateway wall here, allowing him to prevent those Speedlings from doing too much damage. And again, the question is, will DIMAGA stick on 2 and try to push, or will he try to move into his third? We're actually seeing another queen come down over here for DIMAGA, doing some creep spread, and that's kind of implying to us, looks like DIMAGA may be coming out with a third, because he is looking to connect these bases a little bit sooner. Now, how many queens is he sitting on? Yeah, he is already sitting on 3 queens. He is also coming out with a Roach Warren right now. Speedling will be keeping up this scouting here. Again, he just wants to make sure that this gateway is actually going to finish. He really wants to be certain that this, I'm sorry, not the gateway, what am I talking about? He wants to be certain that this Nexus is going to finish. Absolutely absolutely 100%. He needs to know that this finishes so that he knows that he's not dealing with some sort of a 5-gate, 1-base push. I talked about this in the past. Canceling off this Nexus is certainly a possibility as a Protoss player, and then that could allow you to push out with a very strong push against his Zerg opponent, and especially if DIMAGA moves into his 3rd expansion, that'd be a huge problem. So here we go, Zergling trying to confirm, and there it is. The Nexus is up. It is complete. So now he can take a sigh of relief and likely move right into his 3rd. And there it is. Look at that. He's just about to move into his 3rd, and never mind, actually decides to drop the extractor. It looked like he was pulling down with that 3rd for that, but I think he's just waiting a little while longer. He's droning up so very hard, though. Look at that, 11 drones coming out. Here comes an additional hatchery as well, and here we go, connecting these bases. So preparing right now to move on into that 3rd. I really want to see him actually come down with it, though. Again, we can see the in-base hatch over here, but he really could use that 3rd right now, especially given that we do have Hasu over here on his natural expansion as well. He's got a total of 4 gateways up right now, also working out this level 1 weapons upgrade. We do have a Phoenix moving out to try to get some scouting information. He is checking that 3rd. He does want to know if DIMAGA has moved up. Spotting that drone is going to tip him off to the fact that, hey, that 3rd is coming. He's also going to spot all of this creep spread connecting those bases together. So again, pretty clear information here right now for Hasu. He knows, okay, here comes that 3rd, and actually a very unfortunate situation for DIMAGA because Hasu was able to scout that Roach Warren, the fact that the layer was finished, and he saw that in-base hatch there. So lots and lots of scouting information by Hasu, and that just goes to show you how effective hallucination can be early on. I mean, getting that scout there with the hallucinated Phoenix as opposed to having to go straight up for the robo and try to use an observer, this is a really great method of scouting, and it's so quick too. It's so much quicker than that observer. You can scout the map much earlier and get a lot more vision. And here comes the sacrificial, actually no, never mind, this is an overseer scout, so he does not have to sacrifice this. He can actually stay out of the fire, and he's just checking the production buildings and the tech and everything like that. Got a little contingent here moving out for Hasu. I'm not sure how much damage he intends to do, and actually, whoa, unbelievable. DIMAGA, very quick 4th, and that is unreal given the fact that he also has an in-base hatch over here, being very greedy in all honesty in terms of the number of hatches he's getting early on, and this could certainly be a mistake, but you know what, Hasu hasn't been showing any strong 2-base pushes so far in this series. So maybe he's just not concerned about that, and it looks like, yes, Hasu again keeping up the macro focus that has been just constant in this series. It appears like he is preparing to move on into that 3rd expansion, and there we go. Hasu right now getting ready to move right into the 3rd. Now he still has not scouted out these expansions over here, the 4th and the 3rd expansion for DIMAGA. He expects the 3rd, but he definitely has not scouted out that 4th, so hopefully one of those Phoenixes do move down to actually check that out. Another Phoenix scout moving over here. We also have the observer scout moving down. We'll be actually following those roaches, just wants to make sure they're not doing anything too fancy. And again, as we can see back over here, Hasu right now moving right on into his 3rd expansion. Robotics Bait just finishing right now. Here comes the armor level 1 upgrade working its way on through. Does not have any weapons upgrade finished actually, or does he? Let me check a look. I really thought that he had that going through for him. There we go. He does have the weapons level 1 upgrade. Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to make 100% certain. I was like, did he cancel it? What is going on? So DIMAGA's 4th expansion just hatching right now. He will be able to get that saturated, doing what he can to spread some creep. Also moving up with that scouting Zergling, seeing that wall off plus all those forces, tips DIMAGA off to the fact that their expansion is up right over there. We also have DIMAGA with control of the center of the map. Not only the creep spread, we're also grabbing the Zelnaga tower over here. And what is the transition going to be right now? We can see actually getting those groove spines. So we're going to be having some Hydras coming to play. There is the Hydra Den. I did not even see that. Also, the Spire is up, and he's working his way up to some more upgrades for that, and dropping the Infestation Pit. Very cool. So again, very macro heavy focus from both players here, and you know what, it's good, it's great, it's grand. More aggression would be fantastic as well, but obviously that's not something we're seeing. There's the Phoenix Scout right now scouting out this 4th expansion, and this may in all honesty tempt Hasu to push out against it. We've got a couple roaches moving on down here, not entirely certain what for. Here comes a push, or no, actually just working with those creep tumors. We're going to be seeing Hasu again just trying to deny the vision, and here comes another Phoenix Scout moving on down, and Hasu is just continuing up this small little push across the center of the map. Now the great thing for Hasu is that force fields on Metalopolis, incredibly strong against Zerg. Very hard for Zerg players to put up with heavy force field walls, and this is allowing Hasu to comfortably push out to take out these creep tumors, because even if DIMAGA pushes against him, he could just lay down a force field wall at any one of these relatively small choke points, and then then retreat with his forces, and he would be all set. Here comes another Colossus. We're seeing the bulk of DIMAGA's army move on down to try to prepare to engage this, but again, I expect Hasu to just push on back, and there he goes. He is not going to let this engagement take place until he is ready for it. He just wanted to kill off some creep tumors. Taking a look at the upgrades, 1-1 right now here for DIMAGA, working up to 2-2. Again, the level 1 air upgrades coming on through. We've got that hive tech coming out as well for DIMAGA, so we'll be eventually working up to Broodlords. A couple of roaches, nice scouting information here, moving straight on up and just checking that third, making sure it's up here. He also wants to see, hey, is there any hidden tech back here? All sorts of possibilities. Dark Shrine might be coming out, Templar Archives, all sorts of things. Sometimes you'll see Protoss players actually put that in that natural and the third instead of the main base, and that is why he just wanted to check back there. And again, behind the mineral line, also a very popular place to put that tech. So, all right. So right now, again, Hasu up on 3 bases. We'll just be working up to kind of a 200 army. Very strong aggressive push will be coming once he actually gets into that position. I suppose it's not that aggressive because it's happening quite late in the game, but a very strong push nonetheless is what Hasu is working his way up towards. And actually, as I mentioned prior, feeling comfortable with the force field action from those sentries, he is actually going to be pushing right now. Now we've got that blink research coming through. It is not going to be up yet, not allowing those blink stalkers to push up until that finishes. Actually, might be seeing those Colossus move down to engage, though. And here we go, doing some more sniping of these creep tumors, trying to deny the vision. He's probably also spotting the fact that that hatchery is up right now. And these roaches moving on down, trying to engage right now. Gonna have to deal with some force field walls. That's gonna force them to push back. And here are those Corruptors preparing to engage. Roaches and Hydras on the high ground. They need to be very careful, though. This is not an optimal position for them, especially since Hasu can lay down force fields and just pull on back. And DIMAGA needs to be very careful. He's just trying to protect this expansion against these forces. And look at this, Hasu coming out over here with a, oh my gosh, expansion number 4 and 5 here for Hasu. He's just trying to put himself in a very strong economic position while he kind of has DIMAGA on the ropes. The blink research has finished, and I think we're going to see it come into play sometime very soon. And there it is, blink stalkers moving up into the main, and this is a problem right now for DIMAGA. We can see his forces moving back to try to assist with this, but these blink stalkers will just be blinking down and sniping down the Hydra Den. They're just going to be blinking down as soon as those forces push back. He got that critical snipe there of the Hydra Den. Blink stalkers moving down, a couple of them getting caught on the high ground, so there's some free kills there for DIMAGA. Corruptors moving forward, sniping down one Colossus. Very nice there by DIMAGA. That's that kind of small victory that he absolutely positively needed, because right now he's actually kind of looking to be on the ropes. We take a look at the units lost tab. DIMAGA overall behind. In fact, he's lost twice as much almost as Hasu has, and that's a major problem. And look at this. This is just going to be constant aggression here from Hasu, blinking up to the high ground again. Corruptors moving forward. Unfortunately, they're not going to do anything against those stalkers. Here come the Roach and Hydras finally, and now that blink research has finished, it's going to allow him to pull on deck. And oh no, those Colossus getting caught out of position. One's going to get sniped there, and actually no, managing to barely sneak away. Finally, Corruptors turn around to deal with that, and we're going to be seeing Hasu pull back right now, realizing he's got the advantage there on the low ground, while DIMAGA's got all of his forces stuck in the main. And Hasu just kind of playing with DIMAGA right now. And again, I'm really concerned for him. Still losing so many more resources. We're going to be seeing some Broodlords finally come into play right now. Those are getting morphed in right over there. But automatically, Hasu, you can see right now, he's actually just pulling away. And we may see him move down to engage these expansions on the other side of the map. And that's exactly what's happening. And the problem right now for DIMAGA is it is going to take those Broodlords so long to push down and respond to this that Hasu has got a tremendous opportunity to do lots of damage. So here we go. Blink Stalkers moving up into this expo, and they will be doing a ton of damage. We're going to be seeing those Roaches and Hydras push on down to try to respond. But there you go. Taking advantage of the mobility of those Blink Stalkers, sniping the expo, and then just pulling back once things get dangerous. We've got those Broodlords getting ready to move across the map. Do we have any infestors in play? That's a big question for me right now. We've got a total of 4, and those infestors are going to be crucial because we need fungal growth against those blink stalkers to try to protect those broodlords. We got some roaches coming down with the hydras. Here come those infestors. Should be seeing some fungal growth going down right on the stalkers, but the stalkers are already right under the broodlords. There is just one broodlord left. Roaches and hydras and speedlings trying to do what they can, but I'm not sure he's got enough damage. We've got no reinforcements coming out right now. We've got a few more units that should be streaming in, but this is a problem right now for DIMAGA. DIMAGA losing another broodlord, in danger of losing those infestors, finally able to push back with those. DIMAGA's in a very, very tough position. We can see still tremendously behind in terms of resources lost, and Hasu's economy is looking very, very strong right now. You can see he is ahead in terms of minerals. The fact that he has gotten these expansions up unhindered, all the meanwhile, while he's been doing this harassment, is absolutely huge for him. And there goes the Greater Spire, so no more Brewlords, even though we've got 9 Corruptors coming into play, and Hasu is inside of DIMAGA's main. We're not seeing DIMAGA move out with any sort of counter-aggression, trying to push up with some forces. Those Infestors gonna get roasted, and Hasu is just going to town here on DIMAGA, and it is really only a matter of time, because you know what? Hasu is not taking any kind of counter damage at all. We haven't seen DIMAGA be able to respond. He's been too busy and too focused on this aggression, and the force field wall off, keeping Hasu nice and protected inside of DIMAGA's main and preventing DIMAGA from moving down with his units to actually be able to protect his main base. This is going to allow Hasu to snipe down all of this important tech. We're going to be seeing a few of the forces move up here against those Stalkers. Nice fungal growth, helping quite a bit. We're going to see those Corruptors also push down, trying to snipe out those Colossus, but not able to move up fully. And again, just DIMAGA is so far behind. I'm really surprised that he's still in the game. He just wants to see if he can take out these forces and try to save himself, even if it's just a little bit. But there's been some crucial losses there for DIMAGA. And Hasu right now just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't seem like he's trying all that hard. There we go, finally pushing back to engage. Those Colossus were sitting idly for so very long, maybe just waiting for some more Blink Stalkers to come into play, but we're seeing overwhelming forces at the moment here. Hasu sitting with 91 army supplies opposed to the 36 of DIMAGA, and there it is, guys, the GG. Alright guys, there it is, game number 4. Moving on to game number 5 in just one moment. Another macro-focused game here. Hasu was able to stay constantly aggressive for about the last half of the game while having his expansions up and unhindered. This put him in a tremendous economic lead, plus sniping some major tech forced the GG from DIMAGA. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Game number 5 coming in just one moment. If you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again. Keep watching and keep owning.